I've got no roots, but my home was never on the ground. I've got no roots, but my home was never on the ground. I've got no roots. I've got no roots. I've got no roots, but my home was never on the ground. I've got no roots, but my home was never on the ground. I've got no roots. I've got no roots. I like standing still, but that's just a wishful plan. Ask me where I come from, I'll say a different land. But I've got memories and travel like gypsies in the night. I count gates and numbers, then play the guessing game.
Child sexual abuse is defined as sexual activity with a child by an adult, adolescent, or older child. If any adult engages in sexual activity with a child, that is sexual abuse. If another child or adolescent engages in sexual activity with a child, a grey area enters where some sexual behavior is innocent, exploration rather than abuse. There are two main types of child sexual abuse, which is touching and non-touching. Nowadays, social problems such as child abuse are becoming more frequent in Malaysian society, and the rate of increase in such cases is at an alarming level. According to the National Child Protection Policy, child abuse can be defined as a violation or serious violation of children's rights that is at risk of affecting their survival and development in a healthy and dignified condition.
La 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 la. Where are you going? Who are you? Where are you going? What's your name? Who are you? Baby, what is your name? No. Baby, what is your name? No, mommy. Baby, what is your name? Hey, I saw one little girl over there. Let's go. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Hey, that target is coming. Let's go to her. Let's go. Hey, who are you? What are you doing? Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
What's your name, baby?
Hello, bestie. Yeah? What are you doing? You okay? Oh. Oh my god, I can't believe this happened. Oh my god. Wait, I'll call you right back. Okay? Hey, what are you doing? This is just a little girl. That's not your business.
No. Go away.
Hey, you just mind your own business. This is my business. This is just a little girl. Hey, are you okay? Are you okay?
Go away. Please
Come with me.
Oh man, mission failed. Never mind. We can earn money with sell her bicycle. That's great. Mommy, calm down. I'm here for you. There's nothing happened, right? Oh shit. It's okay. By the way, what is your name? My name is Ain. Ain? Oh, by the way, where are you going? Why you all alone? I want to back home. You want to back home? But where do you live? Over there. Oh, just over there. It's okay. I will send you to home. But before that, you can go to the police station first and make a report about this. Yeah. I hate myself.
I want to die.
255 cases of child abuse were recorded by the Department of Social Welfare (JKM) from January to June last year. The question is, why does the issue of child abuse can happen in Malaysian society, and who should take on action of the child abuse? All questions will be answered in our topic today, Say No to Child Abuse.
Hello and good morning. I'm SYUHADA and welcome to Let's Talk. Short-sightedness, irrationality, and heartlessness are the main factors that lead some individuals to commit merciless child abuse. The increase in case of child abuse is not a new issue, but the number of cases reported are worrying us. So today, I will share with you the topic of child abuse with our guest today. So we have Inspector Dr. ILLIYANA, Dr. SYARIZA, Mrs. ADNIN HANNANI, and Dr. ATIKAH NADIA in the following session. So now, with me is Inspector Dr. ILLIYANA, is a police officer from Bukit Aman. And beside her is Dr. SYARIZA, is a pediatrician from Hospital Kuala Lumpur. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So, from Inspector opinion, why can the issue of child abuse can happen in Malaysia?
First of all, thank you for inviting me to this Let's Talk. So to answer your question just now is what can this happen? Which is child sexual abuse in Malaysia. So before I start to answer your questions, let's look at what is the factors that lead to child sexual abuse happen in Malaysia. So what can I highlight here is the main factor can lead to child sexual abuse in Malaysia happen today that keep rising day by day. So the first factors we can look at the lack of knowledge, which is our Malaysians people nowadays they not be open-minded according to the child sexual abuse, which is they not think about the long terms of effects, what the victim will feel. And the second factors is maybe becomes to family, which is why I said family here is we can relate to parents, which is mother and father. You know, like when a family having problems, which is their own parents have becomes to divorce. So sometimes these symptoms or this kind of matters lead to child sexual abuse when like the mentally or emotional they are not stable. So what is the effects will go to their own child?
Maybe to workaholic is the factor too, right?
Yeah, maybe parents who is workaholic, so they are not have enough time to to control their own child. So when it comes to they cannot have enough times like spend time their own family. So maybe that affects to their own child, like depressions or even have a mental disorder. So it can lead to child sexual abuse. Yeah, trauma.
So Inspector ILLIYANA have been working as a police officer since 2010, right?
Yeah.
So what is the most challenging for you to handle cases of child abuse in Malaysia?
Okay. So I have been working as a police officer since 2010. So what is the most challenging when I become a police officer is, like what I can say here is you should be prepared mentally and physically to handle this kind of cases of child sexual abuse, because when it turns out to child sexual abuse, we cannot expect it that it's only become from bruises or any kind of mental illness.
sometimes it can lead to death. So we just need, as a police official, we must be, ready and just prepare a lot of things. Like I said before this, like mental, emotional, yeah, you must be a fit about this because yeah, we know that child sexual abuse, we must handle it's very professional. So when we are a police official, we doesn't have this kind of, we are not enough prepared emotionally and mentally. So I think it's not very suitable when you want to handle this kind of case.
So, Dr. Irene Shariza, can you share with us what is your opinion about issue of child abuse in Malaysia?
Okay. If as a doctor, child abuse is about is defined as a sexual activity with a child by an adult or other child. So, if any adult engage in sexual activity with a child, it is a sexual abuse. So, according to the research of the UNICEF, report children affected by climate change are vulnerable to a range of heightened risks, notably those that result exploitation and limit access to health.
How the doctor can detect the child has been sexual abused and what are the symptoms?
Okay. Firstly, when the child came to doctor as a patient, as a doctor, we know that attitude has changed and different from other children. The symptoms, for example, the symptoms of the child abuse is firstly pain in the vagina or bleeding and loss of body function psychologically because of the trauma for that child abuse, sexual abuse.
Thank you. So are we back to Inspector? Maybe you can share with us what is the most heartbreaking cases about child abuse?
So what is the most heartbreaking cases according to child sexual abuse that happened in Malaysia? So what I can say here is, yeah, as you know, as I mentioned before this, I just started working as police officer since 2010, right? So back then, since 2010, I just started as a police officer. Not long after that, if I'm not mistaken, it's just a 3 years. Just imagine, it's just a 3 years experience working as a police officer, and it was my first time handle cases of child sexual abuse. So my first cases that I had handled is, if I'm not mistaken, that girl is named Siti Nadira, which is she is just 11 years old. That we found her missing from her home. That we got a report that she just missing from her home, and not long after that, we found her that get thrown into a hole and get burned. That was my first case, and not long after that, we found another cases which is NURUL Nadira. I think that she is 10 years old. That girl also found missing from her home, and I think that this is very tragic and very traumatic because when I go to that place, so that girl was like it's not very physically, like as a human being, that the organ had been removed and her head was severed. So it's very scary for me because it's just like my second of cases according to child sexual abuse.
Okay, so thank you. A very concise explanation from Inspector. Thank you for coming to the studio. And we take a break and don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Stay tuned. We are back. So now with me is Dr. ATIKAH Nadia as a counselor from Prince Court Medical Center and also Dr. Irene Shariza. So nice to meet you, Dr. Atikah.
Nice to meet you too.
So Dr. Atikah, based on your experience, what is the hardest case that you had handled?
Thank you for inviting me for the question, to answer your question. The hardest case that I had handled, the child that has a PTSD. If you guys don't know what PTSD means, PTSD stands for post-traumatic stress disorder. He has trauma on his dad. He came to our unit, but he did not say any word. We as a counselor, we cannot predict what has happened to him. So, fortunately, after I have one-to-one conversation with him, he slowly speak up and tell the whole story about what happened to him. PTSD also is one of the long-term effect that the victim have to go through it.
Okay, thank you. So Dr. Shariza,
Yes.
what the main effect of sexual child abuse?
Okay, the main effect of the child sexual abuse is about, okay, according to a review of 45 studies, clearly that the effect is such as a fears, post-traumatic stress disorder, behavior problems, and sexualized behavior, and self-esteem assured.
Okay, what is the doctor action if the child is indeed sexual abuse?
Okay, firstly, when the child has come to a doctor, and we treat as a patient, and in that hospital, we have to a medical assessment, such as physical examination and obtaining appropriate laboratory tests. So, uh, oh, from that we can know about how that child has a sexual abuse.
Oh, okay, thank you, Dr. Irene. So we back to Dr. Atika Nadia. Okay, Dr. Atika, did the victim willingly to share the problems freely or prefer strangers or own family members?
I think for the first question, they usually don't. But first, as counselor, we must gain their trust, because to handle the children cases, it was differs from handling adult case. For handling children cases, sometimes we should act like the children, because why we should act like the children? Because to understand more what they feel. For the second question, whether they prefer stranger or family member, I usually the kids or the children will share their story to their friends or their family member that they trust the most, I think lah.
Okay, so Doctor, did the victim's family background can lead to the abusement?
Uh, I would say yes, because when the parents when the father or mother has bad temper and using violence when they are mad. Secondly, I would say because of they from broken family. When the parents are divorced and has a bad relationship after the divorce.
Okay, so thank you, Dr. Atika Nadia and Dr. Arin Shariza for your explanation and sharing with us. We will be right back and don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We are back. So now with me is Madam ADNIN HANNANI as mother to a 3 child. So Madam ADNIN, how do we find child sexual abuse?
Okay, how do we define a child sexual abuse? So, sexual abuse happen when a child or teen under 18 years old get involved in sexual activity that violates the law or social taboos in society that they are not fully understand, are unable to give a consent, or are forced or manipulated in participating in.
Okay. For your opinion, what will you do if you suspect your child has been sexual abused?
So, as a mother to a child, that I really will ask them what happened, what happened to her, who did that, and I will immediately get help through the pediatrician or local child protective agency.
Okay. How to teach our child to reduce their risk of sexual abuse?
Okay, how to teach them? Actually, we need to keep in mind that this child sexual abuse is widespread. Um, the abuser are usually the someone that we knew, and after being the sexually abused, the child will not show a sign. So, as a parent, we need to teach them clearly, wisely. So we need to educate them. We need to observe cautionary signal closely, and we need to be trustworthy to them to create the good the good environment to our child, so they will talk to us clearly. Yes.
Okay, a very good explanation from you. Thank you, Madam ADNIN HANNANI, for your sharing today. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. Let's see in the next week for an interesting topic. Take care and stay healthy.
I can only hope that one day we will wake up in a better world where children are no longer abused or mistreated. Dave Pelzer once said, childhood should be carefree, playing in the sun, not living in a nightmare in the darkness of the soul.
As a doctor, we must stop sexual abuse of children because it can damage the future of the child. In addition, sexual abuse is also an abominable thing that should not be done in our family or society.
My hope for our youngsters is they have knowledge in parenting skill to avoid children abusement. Let's make our future youngsters has a good environment and also have a good relationship among each other. Also, I hope they can be a responsible parents one day.
So I hope that in 2040, every child report about the sexual abuse will be decreased.